What's up YouTube, this is Jason Undisputed back here again, this time with another deck profile video. And if you don't know what's happened guys, these few days, last Saturday it was the WGP Singapore Season 3. And guess what guys, I got another top in that WGP. I was 13th place. So sadly, again, I just couldn't get that W in that top 16 match. If not, I would have been in top 8. But I was 13th place. If you see the picture over here, it will show you my ranking for the overall. And I played Veissrugr on that day. Yes, you heard that right guys. Veissrugr. This deck is just crazy. The power that you can do, that it gives right now, and the consistency of this deck is just crazy. This deck actually led me to a full win for the 8-round Swiss, but then I lost the last 2 rounds before the top 32 cut. And I lost to a mirror match and I lost to a Veissrugr. So yeah, those are the 2 matches that I lost, but still, this deck is just crazy. And the amount of people playing this deck at that WGP is just too many. I saw so many people playing this deck, and I was one of them. So yeah, in fact, the winner of this WGP Season 3 was this deck, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, sadly, I do not have my prizes yet because the prizes for the top 32 cut and the top 16 cut were delayed, so I do not have my prize to show you. But what I'll do is definitely a deck profile of this deck. So enough of the talking guys, let's just do the deck profile video of my 13th place Veissrugr deck. Alright guys, so this is the deck profile. So I'm just gonna start with my right line first. We have the grade 0, the grade 1, grade 2, and of course Veissrugr. So I'm pretty sure you already know what the right line actually does, but I'm just going to explain. So the grade 1, if you write on top of the grade 0, you can search your deck for the 1 order, the Moon Gate, and you can set it into your order zone. But if that card is in your hand, you can place the Moon Gate order from your hand into your order zone, and then you can draw 1. So yeah, it's kind of like Prison, but instead of, unlike Prison, if you miss Prison, you basically can't do anything. Then for the grade 2 is, if you write the grade 2 on top of the grade 1, you can check top 7, you can reveal up to 2 Mythic Beasts, add 1 of them to your hand, the other one into your Moon Gate order. And then for Veissrugr, so Veissrugr, attack, counter blast 1, then choose 2 of your Mythic Beasts from your order zone, call them out to rearguard circles, and then your whole front row gets power plus 5k. The second skill is, once per turn, Soul Blast 2, that you can use your Moongate order ability again. So if you don't know what the Moongate order does, it's basically Energy Blast 3, rest this order, then check the top 7 of your cards of your deck, then you can add up to 1 Mythic Beast from among them to your hand, or you can put 1 Mythic Beast from among them into your order zone. But if your Vanguard is Veissrugr, you can, instead of checking 1, you can check 3 instead. So you can Superior Call 1 and then put 2 of them into your order zone instead. So yeah, very strong. How this deck actually plays is by filtering. You just filter out a lot of your Mythic Beasts in your deck until all you have left in your decks are triggers or orders. So yeah, so that's how the playstyle of this deck is. So yeah, so that's the right line. Now let's go on to the grade 3. So the grade 3s, we have 3 Veissrugr for Persona Right, 2 orders. This is the plus 5k order, then 2 of the drop zone orders, and then 1 of our Regalious piece, Fire Regalious. So Persona Right, I don't have to explain why. So this order is from BT. Back band is BT7. This is still your best order to activate, especially if you go first, because this order does not have a restriction where your opponent's Vanguard must be grade 3 or higher. So but it does cost a counter blast, which this deck is quite heavy on. But what it does, so basically choose all your rear guards gets power plus 5k, or your mythic beast get power plus 5k. Then if any of those mythic beasts were caught by an ability, they get extra 5k instead, which means if you corner using Veissrugr's ability, they gain extra 5k power, which means gaining 10k power. That is pretty crazy. When your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2, that can you imagine getting an extra 10k for each rear guard that you call? So, and then most of our mythic beast staff power are pretty high, so yeah, this card is pretty crazy. Then this is the brand new card from BT10. So this card is the reason why one of the decks is actually pretty good. So this card you can actually play from the drop if your Vanguard is Veissrugr and your opponent's Vanguard must be a grade 3 or higher. So this card has a restriction, but it gives your Vanguard the ability all your mythic beasts gain 5k power. So yeah, very interesting way to word it, that giving your Vanguard the ability to let all your mythic beasts gain 5k power. But it makes sense because if you give all 5k power to all your mythic beasts or your regular circle, then remaining mythic beasts that you call using Veissrugr skill do not gain the power. So I understand why they worded it like this, to make sure that your mythic beast that you call with using Veissrugr's ability gain 5k power. And you can see the FRR. I love this card. So if you watch my unboxing of BT10, I actually put this in one of my boxes. So yeah, very nice. Then for Fire Regalis, I feel like Fire Regalis is the correct order to play because this card is just too broken. Superior calling one card from your top 5, or maybe even shuffling and draw one. This card is just too good. I feel like this is the correct Regalis piece to play. I do see people playing twin cards, but I find Fire Regalis is the best order. So yeah, that's my grade 3s. Now for the grade 2s, we have 6 copies of Mythic Beast Bird, the bird. And then we have 4 copies of the Wolf Mythic Beast. And then 4 copies of the Snake Mythic Beast. And then 3 copies of this order from BT11. So, if you're wondering, for those who are new to the deck, wondering why can I have 6 copies of this bird? Why is there an exception? Because this effect literally says you can have 16 copies of this card in your deck, up to 16, but of course we don't really play 16. When this deck firstly came out, you will play like 10 of this, because you know this card is actually pretty good. It can boost, so yeah, that's the reason why we play a lot of this bird. So but for now, since we got new mythic beasts, 6 copies is enough. Then for the wolf, I don't have to explain why. This is your draw power of the deck, and you can attack 2 units in the front row. So one has to be your Vanguard, opponent's Vanguard, the other one has to be your opponent's Vanguard. So yeah, that's why. And then this card from BT8. So this card is actually very strong. It's your 5th attacker of the deck. When it firstly came out, it wasn't that good because the deck was so counter blast heavy and soul blast heavy that if you call this, you couldn't, most of the time you couldn't use his ability. Heavy cost the deck actually use. It uses so much counter blast, so much soul blast, and so much energy blast that you will hardly use this. But now, thanks to a certain new card in the later set, you will definitely use this a lot. And this card can attack from the back row, and it gains 15k power if you play an order this turn, which is most of the time going to happen. But of course, the second skill has a grade 3 restriction. Your opponent's Vanguard must be a grade 3. So yeah, very strong. Then this card. So this is a pretty old card from BT11. So if you don't know what it does, basically, if you play this, then choose 2 of your grade 2. Is it grade 2? Yeah, choose 2 units from your drop zone and then put them onto your Guardian Circle. And then your Vanguard this turn gains power. This battle gains power plus 10k. So what does this actually do? Basically, you're using your mythic beast from your drop zone and to put them into your Guardian Circle. And then Veissrugr ability, after you guard with a mythic beast, you can choose one other Mythic Beast from your drop zone, return it back to the bottom of the deck, and then the Mythic Beast you're guarding gets power plus 5k. So it's a really defensive order where you can just use 2 Mythic Beasts for your drop zone and guard with them, and then they gain extra 5k thanks to Veissrugr skill. And then not only that, you can return up to 2 Mythic Beasts from your drop zone back to your bottom of the deck because you are using 2 Mythic Beasts to guard. So yeah, that's really strong. So we don't really play this order from the when Veissrugr actually came out, but now thanks to there's a lot of Mythic Beasts we are playing, we definitely need to run this. So yeah, this card is very good. So basically it's a 30k shield in a way. So yeah, very strong. So this is our grade 2s. For the grade 1s, we have so little grade 1s. We have 4 PGs and then 4 of this brand new card, the 3rd Mythic Beast from the later set BT10. So PGs, we are running 4 of normal PGs. Why? Because the reason why we couldn't run Elementaria is because most of the time you're going to play this order instead of Elementaria. So if you use this, you can't use Elementaria because it's only in 1 order per turn. So yeah, that's the reason why we're just playing 4 normal PGs. And then for this new card, so why is this card so good? Its ability is on place on rearguard circle, except during the battle phase. Use either one of the following. The first ability, you can check the top 5 cards of your deck, then review up to 1 of this Carbonite order. So we don't want Carbonite orders. These are basically the Carbonite orders. Or review a Veissrugr from your top 5 and add it to your hand. So yeah, this card is literally the searcher of the deck. It's not only searches for your persona, right? It searches for your Carbonite orders, which both are very important. And then the second skill is what makes it really strong. At the end of the battle that this unit boosts, you can actually put this card into your soul and counter charge 1. So this card is literally the Bobermine of the deck. Thanks to this card, Bobermine is gone from the deck, and for good reason, because not only is this card a Mythic Beast, it's an unflipper for the deck. It counter charges, which matters so much in this deck because this deck is just too counter blast heavy. Oh, I forgot to mention the one of the skills where you don't really will use it unless you have to, but instead of the check top 5, and if you persona right this turn, you can actually use Energy Blast Tree, search your deck for a Carbonite order. So yeah, instead of check top 5 to gacha for an order or persona right, you can actually use 3 energy to actually search out the order that you want. Yeah, you won't really use that ability because most of the time your energy is going to be used on your order, because the Moongate order requires you to do Energy Blast Tree, and then the Wolf, the Wolf Mythic Beast also requires you to Energy Blast in order to draw. So most of the time those are where your energies are going, but you might never know. Sometimes you feel like you are winning, you just want to finish your opponent, you just Energy Blast Tree to search for this order and add it to your hand. So yeah, that's the reason why this card is so good. This card makes the deck so consistent. It solves the deck so many problems. It gives the deck soul because Veissrugr every single turn you have to Soul Blast to use the Moongate order. So this card is just amazing. This card is a chef kiss to this deck. So yeah, that is our grade 1s. Oh yeah, and of course guys, of course we do run the Moongate order in the main deck. So total of 9 grade 1s. Not to confuse people, but yeah, the Moongate order has to be in the deck. It is not like in Pioneer where the order is outside the deck. Okay, so for the grade 0s, this is our triggers. We run 1 over trigger, of course Brunkate over trigger, 3 draws, 8 critical, and of course 4 heals. So trigger lineup, in the past we would run the soul fronts, but now thanks to that new grade 1, this deck doesn't really have soul problem anymore, so we are running draw triggers instead. And this deck doesn't really have much hand, so of course we definitely need to run draw triggers. And you won't really deck out with this deck anyway, because of Veissrugr's ability, you are returning at most up to 2 mythic beasts to the bottom of your deck. So definitely running draws doesn't really hurt the deck, because you will not deck out with this deck unless you don't, you can't return any mythic beast. This deck you won't really deck out. So running draws, I find, is the correct trigger to play now. And over trigger, we are running Brunkgate over trigger because it's still one of the most broken over triggers. Having your whole front row gaining ×2 power, ×2 critical power, and 100 million ×2, that's crazy, that's insane. So definitely, Brunkgate over trigger is the way to go. And 8 criticals normally, and then 4 heal triggers. So I'm playing the Crate Elemental triggers because I don't really have spare Brunkgate triggers, so it doesn't really matter. But if you want, you can just play Brunkgate triggers, it doesn't really matter to me. So that is the Great Zeros. And I had to explain, and one thing guys, this over trigger in the WGP, my final match, I drove check it. I thought I won, but I lost an over trigger. My opponent just over triggered me back, so that's what I lost entirely. I was so upset when it happened, but it's Vanguard, it's luck based. It's just very frustrating where you thought that you had the game already, but you just lose to an over trigger. But yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, so that's my Great Zeros. That is my deck profile of my Veissrugr deck, guys. What do you guys think of the deck profile? Guys, let's just do a little combo video on to show you how good this deck actually is right now. So be right back. Alright guys, so this is a little combo video of what this deck actually can do. So if let's say you go first and you already right into your Veissrugr, you already set up all your whole board with this. So if let's say you have the order in hand, so this is what I will normally do if I go first. If I have this order in hand, I'm gonna play it by counter blasting 1. Then all my mythic beasts will gain 5k power extra. Let's say I play the order, all my regulars gain power plus 5k. And let's say if I use Veissrugr's ability to superior call, like this dog and the bird, they will gain an extra 5k power thanks to the order, so making it even bigger. So now we are going to attack. Let's say we boost with the mythic beast grade 1 and attack with the wolf. Then wolf skill, since I attack and my Vanguard is Veissrugr, it will gain an extra 5k, so making himself a 25k, plusing a 13k at the grade 1, so that's a total of 38k against a grade 2 10k powered Vanguard. That is a 30k guard. That is insane. That's very big. So if let's say your opponent takes it, he takes the damage, then you at the end of the battle you can use the wolf skill, counter blast 1 or energy blast 3 to draw 1. Then if let's say I have a counter blast, I already have a counter blast or card face up counter blast already, I will move this card to the soul to counter charge. Or if you want, you can actually counter blast with the dog anyway, because you're going to counter charge with this grade 1 anyway. So yeah, it doesn't honestly speaking, it doesn't really matter. And then this card will go into the soul. Then after that, you will boost, and then Veissrugr, you'll attack your Vanguard. Then use his skill event, counter blast 1 to superior call up to 2 mythic beasts from your orders. So you will call the dog, and then you will call the snake. So and then your whole front row will get an extra 5k power. So dog, same thing, will gain 5k. Then since you call Veissrugr's ability, you get another 5k. And then the order skill, it will gain an extra 5k power, so making the dog gain an extra 15k power again. That's pretty crazy. And then since you caught the dragon with this ability, with Veissrugr's ability, you can actually counter blast 1, making him be able to attack from the back row. And since your opponent's Vanguard is not grade 3, he doesn't gain the extra plus 15k power you play in order this turn, but he does gain the 10k power from the order, so making him gain an extra 10k power just like that. That's pretty crazy. And then now Veissrugr will gain an extra 5k, so I don't really have a 5k right now, but yeah, So take it like this, a whole column plusing 10k. So Veissrugr himself will be 23k plus 8, so that is 31k power. That is crazy. Against Grid 2 Vanguard, that is 30k for one trigger, 35k for two triggers. That's crazy. So your opponent is most probably going to take it. Then let's say we get a trigger, we get a heal trigger or a critical trigger, whatever. And what I'll do, I will give the power to my back row dragon, because the dragon power is pretty small, even though he can attack from the back row. So yeah, I'm definitely going to give it the dragon, the snake, the power. So making him gain another 10k like that. Then I would swing with the smallest one first, which is my dragon. So actually the dragon and the dog basically the same power, because getting 10k from the order, getting 5k from Veissrugr, and then when he attacks he get another 5k. So technically it's also plus 20k. So both of this column here is 30k power each, but I'll attack with the snake first, attack from the back row, then dog will swing, then getting another 5k, so making him a 30k power as well. So both will be 25k card against a 10k Vanguard. That's pretty crazy. Then the last attack, this is the biggest one, so we will swing with 15k plus 25k. That is 40k power total on a Grid 2 10k Vanguard. That is crazy. And this is just the first turn, guys. Oh yeah, don't forget, guys. You see, that's one mistake I always made. I always forget to move the soul to counter charge. So don't forget that as well. So yeah, can you imagine this, guys? This is just the first Grade 3 turn, and you are doing this much. You're doing 5 attacks with this power against a Grade 2 10k Vanguard. Your opponent is definitely has to pray for a trigger, damage check a trigger in order to guard this. If not, he's gonna take all the way until from 1 or damage to maybe to 5, or maybe you might even win the game if you go first. So yeah, that's how crazy this deck actually is. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, that is one of the combos of the Veissrugr. But of course, this deck is kind of high roll, because it all depends on what you check top 7 with your order and with Veissrugr. So there are some times where I just check top 7, I don't call anything. There are times like that, like it's just that high roll of a deck. Or maybe I so check top 7, I only call 1, and I have nothing in order, so I can't call anything with Veissrugr's ability. So there are times like that, so be careful when playing this deck, because honestly speaking, this deck really high roll. But once you high roll properly, this is the damage you can actually do with this deck. That is one of the combo, guys, of Veissrugr. Hope you guys enjoy. I really love this deck a lot. I'm glad I made it when it firstly came out in BT7, and now look what it got me. It got me to 13th place. I made it another WGP top, guys. I am actually very happy. Even though it's still not top 8 yet, but I still believe I'll be able to make it this year. There is one more WGP coming out at the end of the year. I think it's during the October period. So yeah, hopefully I get there. I really hope so. The deck profile and the combo, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. If you do like what you see, please do leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more. If you didn't like, guys, I have social media right now. Here, follow me in my links in the description box down below. That's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'd like to thank all those that have supported me throughout this entire WGP and forcing me to play this deck. You get the top 13 of the entire Singapore out of 760 players. Top 13th place Veissrugr deck profile. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, one thing before I sign off, guys, I forgot to mention. So I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter or my Instagram. I actually posted pictures of me together with different fights. So yeah, I actually met different fight. I'm very excited, or very excited to meet him. And he actually signed 2 of my 2 cards. So I asked him to sign my Chain Rancor Dragon because it's one of my favorite strides, and he actually signed an energy card for me as well. So thank you so much, different fight. You are the best. I am so glad I actually met you, and thank you for taking a picture with me and signing those 2 cards. So definitely one of the most exciting WGPs I ever been to. That's all for the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Jason Undisputed, signing off.